The latest release of Adobe Premiere Pro has new and improved features that can help you make better, high-quality real estate videos. One of these new features is known as one-click AI masking that, combined with motion tracking that has been improved in this release, you can take care of common problems that come out of real estate videos like blurring personal pictures and other distracting items. There's also, though, been a downside to this in that it complicated masking overall for other items. So while this new one-click AI masking and improved motion tracking has greatly been improved and is very simple to use, some of the other masking things have gotten a little bit more complicated, but I'm going to simplify it in this episode to show how you can apply this feature to your real estate videos. Starting in Premiere Pro, we're going to use this one single clip to demonstrate this new feature. And this is just me walking in and doing a bit of an orbit. Now, there aren't any personal pictures that need to be blurred out, so instead what we're going to use is this somewhat distracting pillow. So what we can do here, there's a few things I would suggest doing first, and they're just kind of your standard edits. And you can see I've done them over here in the Effect Controls panel, where, for instance, I applied lens distortion. If I turn this off, you can see there was a little bit of barrel distortion. Turn that back on. And then also some vignette control with Lumetri color. If I turn that off, you can see the vignetting. Turn that on, the vignetting goes away. And those are things, by the way, that are covered in my course on videography for real estate. And I've got a link to that and all my other courses on real estate photography and videography down in the description for this video. Moving along to this new feature, what we want to do is select this new pillow and then just blur it and blend it in a little bit better. So to do that, what we can do is get to a point in the playhead where we can really get a good view of that pillow. We can also zoom in by going, instead of fit, to 100%. Then using the hand tool, you can see it's selected there, or press H on your keyboard. Then I can move the screen around and I can see where that would be. So that is a pretty good view of it right there. Now what we'll do is, using this in this position here, we're going to grab a new tool that is the new masking tool. Notice under everything here in the Effect Controls panel, there is no longer any masking. That's because all masking has moved under this icon on the toolbar. By default, the first time you install this, it'll probably have Object Mask Tool here, but if you click and hold, you'll see that's where all the other masks are, like your ellipse mask and rectangle mask. We are going to use the Object Mask Tool, but if you were using other masks, you'll see that that icon will change. So you want to make sure that you go here, click and hold, and make sure that you have Object Mask Tool selected. Then you'll see a few changes on the toolbar right here where you've got a mask overlay, and that's just the mask color. And then here you've got some options to be able to draw lassos or rectangles, similar to what you do for object selection in Photoshop. And then here we've also got selected Show Object Hover Preview. With that then, what it allows us to do is just hover our mouse over. You can see different objects are automatically selected. So let's try the pillow. You can see for the pillow, it really just selected the person on the pillow. So what you can do is you can try moving the playhead to someplace else that has more contrast. Then you can go back in here and try it again. It's really not selecting that more, but we can always add to it. But we'll try just a few other spots here to see if we can get a better view of it and have it selected. That's selected a little bit more, so let's go with that. And let's just click then on that mask. Now we have a mask selected. Right now it's under Unsigned Masks. But we can keep adding to this mask by using that lasso tool that's in plus to add. And what I'll do is then just kind of draw a lasso around some of these areas that we're missing and see if we can pick them up. So that doesn't look too bad. We still have some other areas here, but we're going to be blending this, and for this particular case, it really won't matter. The next thing we want to do though, let's just zoom back out. We'll just say fit. And what we need to make sure is that this mask is applied to every frame within this clip. To do that, we want to use motion tracking, and that's with the tracker up here that belongs to that mask. Now, what the best way to do is, especially since our playhead is not at the beginning of this clip, is to use the center button here of the tracker, which means that it'll track both forward and backwards, and it'll apply this mask to every frame. So click on that, and then you'll see the progress, and you can see it's going forward first from that particular point that we were when we were working with the mask, and then it'll go back to that point and start working its way backwards. When it's done doing its tracking, we have the object mask here, but there's nothing applied to it. So the next thing to do is apply an effect. And what I'm going to do is zoom in once again 100% so we can see what we're doing. I'll use the hand tool. You can press H on your keyboard, or you can select it down here. The next thing is I'm going to go to Effects, and I'm going to search for Blur, because I want a Gaussian blur. And we can see that came up in the search here. And I'll drag Gaussian blur onto this particular clip. When I do that, right now in this version, it's applying the mask to that. So if I go back to Effect Controls, our unassigned mask is empty. Instead, that mask has now been applied to Gaussian blur. If it doesn't do that in a later version, then you would just merely slide that down. And that's how it was working in the beta version before they made this official release. In any case, you can always select something else outside of that, and you can see then that mask overlay goes away. But we want to work with first our Gaussian blur. So we want to go back here, but not necessarily to the mask. We want to go to the controls of the Gaussian blur. And in these controls, we can say how much blur we want. So we can decrease the amount of blur, we can increase it to whatever we like. We can also then, for the mask, just like any other mask, we can feather it and also change its opacity, and we can also expand it. Sometimes it's good to just expand it just ever so slightly. I mean, very, very little. And then the same thing with feathering, because feathering goes inside from those edges. So it did blur it, and that might be acceptable when you're working with, for instance, personal photos. But in this case, we want to take this further, and we really want to change the color of it to blend it in better. And we can do that with this mask. So let's change the amount of blur back up so that it's pretty high once again. And for now, I'm going to collapse Gaussian blur. The next thing I want to do is I want to add another Lumetri color. Now you can see I already have that in here because I was doing some of my other adjustments to take care of, for instance, the vignetting. But what I want to do here is change the color and do other things to this particular pillow. So in this case, I'm going to go to Effects, and I'm going to search then for Color. And that should bring up Lumetri Color. So I can drag another one on here to that clip. Now when I go to Effect Controls, I can see that I've got two Lumetri colors. Let's zoom all the way back out so we can see the difference. If I turn this one off, I can see the vignetting. That was for my vignetting. But here, this Lumetri color has nothing applied to it yet. So this is where then I can put the mask for the Gaussian blur that we just did, and I can apply it to Lumetri color. To do that, before making our adjustments then, we'll mask it by opening up Gaussian blur, going to that mask, right-click, and say Copy. I'll collapse this, go to Lumetri color, right-click, and then paste. And now it has that same mask applied. Now I can make different color adjustments to that pillow. Let's move the playhead a little bit so we get in a little closer to it. And now I could change, for instance, its exposure. I could bring it up to make it brighter. I could increase the whites quite a bit on that. I could change the saturation. I could change its color so that the temperature is brought down a little bit. And I can see that there's still something showing through there. So now I can go back to our Gaussian blur effect. When I go back to Gaussian blur over here, where we have that same mask applied, then I can change the amount. And I'll increase the amount of Gaussian blur so that automatically all goes away. So now what I've been able to do is use that exact same mask with the motion tracking, not just to blur the pillow, but also to change the color. This is without that color. This is with it. And then, of course, this is without the blur, and this is with the blur. So now we've got both of these effects applied. If I now go back to this clip and I play the whole thing, I can see that that pillow, it's not the most perfect edit, but it does take care of that distracting item. And this would have been especially useful if you had personal pictures. This works really well for them, but you can see you can do just about anything you want tracking this, and it automatically detected these various objects, and that made it even easier. And also applying these to different effects means that I can go back to these effects, like the color here, for instance, of this one, and I can say, well, let's change the exposure of that pillow. Or let's just take those shadows way up high and maybe bring down the contrast and whatever I can do to maybe blend this in a little bit better. Well, that's entirely up to me and what I want to do with this particular edit, because the masking is there, the motion tracking is there, and now I can apply any effects that I want to any of these clips. Once again, this is very useful for items that would be distracting, that need to be blurred out. Family photos are a real big one. And it's real easy with this AI tracking. In fact, you probably wouldn't have to use the Lumetri color. You would just use the Gaussian blur effect on it, because it automatically selects it basically with a click, and then having the ability to add or subtract with those AI masking tools makes your job a lot easier to do these types of edits a lot faster.